of dumb to try to boycott this stuff, because if you tried to boycott everybody you disagreed with politically or whatever, from philosophically, you'd go naked and hungry.
That's exactly right.
I mean, for God's sake, the Nazis invented the Volkswagen. Tell all the hippies that. Oh, you better burn your VW, buddy. I mean, it's kind of silly. I mean, I'm not going to stop going to Chick-fil-A. All ages and all the ships at sea, it is time yet again for another enlightening and educational episode of The Boom Boom Room. I am the Spit Bucket Man, Viking Jim, our quarter man, Joe Danier, and our host. You know him, you love him, you can't stop thinking about him, and you know it, Ray Mancini.
Oh. Well, how do you answer that? I answer my man Vike.
But your mother would call you Raymond.
Raymond, that's it. My man Vike, I don't know, man. You're getting better and better, and
you inspire me, my friend. You inspire me.
It's going way over the top, way over the top. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another round of the Boom Boom Room. I'm your host, Ray Mancini, here with my Spit Bucket Man, Viking Jim, and of course, my corner man, Joe Danier. We're going to have a good show today, talk about a variety of things. The first thing I noticed, as I'm watching, seeing myself up on screen is, man, how white I am. Jeez, oh man, how am I getting whiter and whiter without noticing? Or is it just,
I mean, it might be the background, man. You're nowhere near as pasty as I am, so come on.
I'm talking about my hair, not my skin, my hair.
Just your hair.
It's just my hair.
It's distinguished, man.
There you go. There you go.
Your lovely bride loves it. She adores it. That's what counts.
Well, first on the docket this week is tonight is the first NFL game of the regular season of the 2018 football season. Tonight, it's opening with the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Atlanta Falcons, and it's a rematch of last year's National Football Conference, NFC Divisional Championship.
Yeah.
And, I didn't realize I forgot, 2 years ago, of course, everyone knows about Philly falling to the Patriots when they were up by halftime by three scores.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
And the Falcons,
17 points.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then the Falcons, then of course the Patriots came back, won the game. Last year, Falcons were up again. Mm-hmm. Philadelphia come back. But here's what people forget, that if Julio Jones catches Matt Ryan's ball, he went right to his hands. Game's over. They win.
That's the crazy part about
so
the game.
Yeah, so people forget about that. I forgot about that until I saw it on the news today on ESPN. So just think about that. If how close we were to going back to the championship again.
I've thought about that play a lot, Ray, because it wound up with the Philadelphia Eagles kicking the crap out of the Vikings. And
that was for division championship. This was the game before that.
Right, exactly. And the Falcons won that game.
Right. That my bad. Because people who watch knows I get things screwed up a little mixed mash. But that was fun. I forgot. Philadelphia beat the Vikings for the divisional championship.
Yeah.
The game before in the semifinals is when they beat Atlanta, and that's when I said Atlanta would have won the game if Jones holds on to the ball.
The Vikings may very well have beat Atlanta, and if everybody recalls, the Philadelphia Eagles kicked the living crap out of my Vikings, so that's a day I'm never going to remember anytime soon.
So there you go. And so that's our first game tonight. This weekend has a full schedule of games, and our Brownies, as we talked about today, will be playing the Steelers. I'm anxious to see what our Brownies are going to do. I say a minimum of 6. You say a minimum of 8. Should be in there.
I'm going to say 9's not out of the realm of possibility.
Man, there you go.
You got.
Is that you talking, or is that wacky tobacco talking?
I'm not going to say one way or the other what my glaucoma medicine affects my football judgment, but I'm telling you, man.
Glaucoma, man.
It's got to turn around sometime, man. It's got to turn around. You might see the Steelers tumbling.
Right, that medicine's work because, man, you got the sharpest eye. You can see like X-ray man. That's how good sharp those eyes are.
Yeah, that's right, man. I can see what you got in your pockets right now.
So, first game is tonight. I'm excited. Nick Foles is going to start for the Philadelphia Eagles, as it's been announced already. So, he finished last season strong, and let Carson Wentz, let him, heal properly. So, anyhow, first game tonight for all the big NFL fans out there. And this Sunday, like I said, it has a full schedule of games. Also, Jacksonville Jaguars will be playing the New York Giants. And the reason I'm mentioning that, because the matchup. OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. Versus Jalen Ramsey. The all-pro quarterback, Jalen Ramsey, who talks more smack than anybody. And Jalen Ramsey, he's the one who said that they're giving him mentioning guys. He just threw out whatever came to him.
Yeah.
And what quarterback they mentioned to him? And he said trash. He's just trash. So
he's trying to have that mentality.
But he does. He talks a lot of trash, and everyone says he's one of the biggest trash talkers. But he backs up what he says. All pro, long. A lot of guys say he's one of the most difficult DBs because he's long, fast, quick. So that's this Sunday when the Giants play the Jacksonville Jaguars. So watch for that personal matchup of Odell Beckham Jr. and Jalen Ramsey. And let's see if they can have some smack talk and maybe a little fisticuffs in there.
and not to sidebar you too bad, but it's kind of what I do. When it comes to smack talking, relate that to boxing if you can, real quick.
Well, you can't because these guys are smack talking every play, all game. Boxing is usually, if they do it, it's a press conference.
Right.
When you're in there, there's not a whole lot of talking going on.
Right.
I mean, especially when it depends on your style. My style is I'm on top of a guy. You can't be talking to him while I'm walking him down, chasing him down, cracking that body. You ain't got a chance to talk.
Right.
But if you're boxing each other, on the outside, they may. But nobody ever said anything to me in the ring. No, not really. No.
Maybe in a way though, like especially with like this matchup, it's kind of like we talked about a while ago. Like the NFL has kind of stolen some of the XFL's good ideas, and they kind of encourage that kind of. It gives it that flavor.
But it does, except that you get fined if you get too much excessive and you're in each other's face. Then you get fined. So like they said,
but even the
no fun league is not. I don't know if they're a big advocate of trash talking.
Okay.
The no fun league. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Look, you got to make ratings. It's got to be good for ratings.
You got to sell tickets, man. You got to sell. You got to sell those Anheuser-Busch products.
Well, also in the meantime, our Brownies are facing a Steelers team without Le'Veon Bell. And so a lot of people know that Le'Veon Bell's holding out. Again, we talked about this on Tuesday. I'll say it again. He's holding out for more money. He's making 14 plus change this year. And it's 14 million. And he wants more money. He wants a long-term contract, and I get that.
Yeah.
One of the toughest positions, but one of the most productive backs over the last 3 years. I get that. You want a long-term contract, and I'm a player. I want it too. But you don't get it by sitting out. You do it by proving yourself. So here's my point. He's not playing because he wants more money, yet every game he misses, he's giving up over $830,000 a game.
Yeah.
They're finding him $830,000 a game. If he didn't, because this week's practice, because he didn't show up the date he was supposed to show up to give him a deadline, he didn't show up. So he gave up $830,000. This misses the next game, $830,000. How can you cry for more money? He says he's trying to do it for long term, and he's trying to save his brand and save his body for the long term. You do it by playing, man. You do it by playing, showing them what you're worth.
Right.
So I don't give up that type of scratch. I don't know, man.
When they say they're standing on principle, because that's often the very concept of it is, I'm standing on principle. Yeah. Well, you know what? If your principle is money, then what are you starting out with?
I don't
get it either.
No, man, it just makes no sense. So anyhow, again, watch the Brownies and the Steelers this week for us back here in Northeastern Ohio. That's it's a big game for us. That's what everyone. The town split half town. Brownie fans half.
There's three huge football games in this town every year. I would say when you talk about three big football.
I'm gonna tell you too. Browns, Pittsburgh. Michigan, Ohio State.
And what's the third one? You should know it.
Oh, Mooney.
The Holy War, man. The Holy
Mooney,
War.
High school. My high school.
Mooney Ursuline, baby.
Mooney Ursuline. Yes. And two parochial schools, high schools here in town.
Yeah, I still remember how it would all pair off because, like, when it came even down to that rivalry, the kids that went to public school would watch that rivalry because if you were from, like, Austintown West Side, your buddies all went to Ursuline. And if you had any buddies from the neighborhood that went to parochial school, they went to Ursuline. And if you were like from Bournemouth, Poland, South Side, that was all the Mooney kids. Right. And so even if you didn't go to one of those schools, that was the game.
It was. It was a big, and both of them were relevant during that time. So
yeah,
a lot of games going on. So we'll see.
It's still a huge cultural sensation.
Yeah,
God, we love our football. I think we're better than Texas.
Well, Texas and Oklahoma, that borderline, and Pennsylvania, northeastern Ohio and western PA, right there, we're as diehard as anybody.
Yep.
How about this? On a sadder note, Burt Reynolds died today.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds died, man. Smokey and the Bandit. A lot of it was great. Look, Burt, I didn't realize this. That of all the great movies, he was the biggest movie star in the 70s.
Yeah, he was huge.
Nobody bigger. And that's why when people say, who Burt Reynolds? A lot of these kids don't know who Burt Reynolds was, especially kids of my son's generations, But
And a lot of his films were kind of corny comedies.
But before he did a lot of good serious stuff before that.
He did a lot
the first one, he made his debut in Deliverance in 1972.
Yep.
With John Voight. Deliverance is one of the great films of all time.
No question.
And he did a lot of drama. And then, of course, he did Smokey and the Bandit. I think the first one was 79. Mm-hmm. And then they've done 2 or 3 or 4 since. Jackie Gleason, Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise. So, I mean, a lot of... Burt Reynolds fan. He's 82 years old.
What was it, Cannonball Run?
Cannonball Run. Then those became they were just popcorn films. Because he was making so much money.
And people remember those better than they do, I think, the serious stuff that he did.
But you know what? I did not know that the only Oscar he was ever nominated for was 1998 when he played a co-starring role in Boogie Nights.
Love that film.
Boogie Nights.
Love that film.
He played the director, the porn film director.
I wish I could remember the line he had about when they were trying to get him to flip over to video from doing film. He was like all artistic about it, but it was. I wish I could remember that great film anyhow.
Yes, and that was really the film I think that kicked off Mark Wahlberg's, dramatic career.
Yeah,
I mean, he did other films, but he did other films, but Boogie Nights he played the way he played it. It was like a naive young guy. And he played it great. And
Reynolds a key in that movie.
Yeah, it was. He played the director. So, I mean, I feel bad. I actually got to meet him once. Years ago in California. And, lovely man, nice man. I met him down on, I'm trying to think what studio. I met him on a sound stage in one of the studios. And, just a big fight fan, knew boxing, and just a nice guy. Just a nice guy. And of course, he was a handsome son of a gun in the 70s, 80s. He had a long love affair with Sally Field.
And if I'm not mistaken, before Sally Field, wasn't he with Dinah Shore for a while?
Forever. Dinah Shore forever. He was Dinah Shore. But he says the real great love of his life was Sally Field.
Yeah.
And he said the biggest regret is them not getting together and marrying. And then after that, he married Lonnie Anderson.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He married Lonnie Anderson, and that didn't last a whole lot. But that did. He has a couple of children with Lonnie Anderson. Mm-hmm. I think, of course, adopted children.
Yeah.
She was a little too up there, long in the tooth for kids, I believe.
Yeah.
And they adopted some kids, and so they, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they have one together, but I don't think so. I think.
Real quick.
So, but anyhow, he had the long love affair with Sally Field, and it's just great. He always says it was a great love of his life and biggest regret.
Yeah.
A lot of things I didn't know about him. I did not know until recently that his father was a sheriff who had him arrested because when he was in high school.
No idea.
And Burt Reynolds, I guess, was rabble rouser. He was raised in northern Florida, and I guess he raised hell when he was a kid. So his father had him arrested, and for whatever reason, I guess they never got over that. He never got past that.
Wow.
Burt Reynolds could never get past that, and so the relationship didn't have a relationship with his father very much. It was
that's a shame.
A strained relationship forever.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So one of the things that happens. But how about this? We know about the great roles. Well, let's look about his IMDb. Great roles that he portrayed, of course. But here's the ones. A lot of films he turned down. Now you always hear about the movie stars turning down certain films. Okay. We know that George Raft turned down Maltese Falcon. Yeah. He also turned down.
Was it Postman?
No, the other one with. Maltese Falcon turned on, and George Raft turned on when he was Casablanca.
There you go.
Turned that down. And so, of course...
And Humphrey Bogart becomes legend.
Yeah. And that happens. Now, I've just been watching recently talking about The Godfather. And I was watching on the internet the things that supposedly we didn't know. Well, I know pretty much basic everything about The Godfather now, 30 years. Of course, we know that
I've had hour-long conversations with you about the Godfather
right. We know that the studio didn't want Coppola. We know that. We know they didn't want Al Pacino. We know they didn't want Brando. They wanted, the studio wanted from Michael? They actually wanted Warren Beatty or Ryan O'Neal.
Yeah, because they were the big box office.
Right, exactly. And then when Coppola got on board, he said no. Then originally they wanted James Caan to play Michael, and they had Robert De Niro come in to read for his role. We've talked about this before. It has to play his role of Sonny. And then they had a lot of plethora of actors, all those actors coming out. Dustin Hoffman, Martin Sheen, all these to play Michael. And then, of course, they said when people saw the test, the test for Al Pacino for Michael, they said, well, that's it right there. Yeah. But the studio still wanted to fire him. When they saw the dailies, and for those who don't, dailies are, when you film something, you come back to the studio, you look up the dailies to see what they shot that day. The studio was not impressed, and they was asking Coppola to fire him, and they told the studio was ready to shut it down. And Coppola said no, he wasn't going to fire him until they saw this scene. Yeah. He was at the table with McCluskey, the cop played by Sterling Hayden.
Right, the restaurant scene.
Restaurant scene. When they take him out. And Sollozzo, I forgot who played Sollozzo. I think it was Virgil, the guy's name Virgil, the actor. Italian actor. When they saw that scene, that convinced them he was the Michael Cornell. But that's when they got up, shot them both, asked for permission to go to the bathroom. They tell him, ask for permission, don't get up, go to the bathroom. And remember that great scene?
Yeah. It's
like the freight train run through his head. You hear the sound of a train. Yeah. And because he's all over the joint, he has to go to the bathroom. He gets up, and Sollozzo fills him out, and Sterling Hayden said, no, he's out. I checked him.
And it turns out one of the most believable castings in the history.
It's probably the most perfect casted movie of all time. Yeah. The most perfectly casted movie. You couldn't get better. Who's Godfather other than Marlon Brando? And he had never auditioned forever. They made him audition. He did it. He's going to do the scene with prosthetic stuff in his mouth.
When they did the casting, when they saw De Niro trying out, didn't Coppola actually go, okay, not yet?
But he said, right.
We're gonna. And that's I got something else for you later.
When they get four,
actually, my wife.
1974, when they did Godfather 2, of course, he played young people.
My wife and I were watching. They were running them on one of the movie channels the other night, and I noted to my wife that I like one better than 2, but I like the flashback scenes in 2. Are my favorite part of the whole series.
For a lot of people, Godfather 2 is better than Godfather 1. For them. Yeah. To me, either or, it is that good. But for me, Godfather 1 is the most perfectly casted movie of all time.
Yeah, see, we're going to wind up talking about this for another 20 seconds. There's another beauty of that film, and I got to give props to whoever did the art decoration for that film. Is absolutely flawless for invoking that period.
What's funny,
even down to the point where the whole festival scene, where they're leading up to the shooting. They went down to the detail of they're flying all these old Italian flags out the windows. They're the old Italian royal flag with the royal crest in the middle of them. They didn't just go out to the Walmart and buy a bunch of Italian flags. It went down to the slightest detail.
There you go. I didn't realize that. It's funny you talk about that scene. They shot that scene. It took them 5 days to shoot that scene, of course. And
really?
5 days.
Wow.
And that's a lot of money for one scene, of course. But it's just talk about the mood. If you watch the movie Godfather 1, it starts off with a lot of dark tones. Dark. Yeah. It's very dark, and you never, and even there's a lot of foreshadowing in The Office. But that's what Coppola wanted, because there he is, my man Art, because he wanted to have those dark tones. Yeah. Because it's a dark film. So he didn't want it to keep, the bright lights. So Coppola himself, just moody. Just people don't understand, when you do a film, to create the mood, to create the what we remember.
Yeah.
The ambiance of what we remember. Everyone remembered the dark tones, but that was by choice, and that was by Coppola, how he wanted the lighting. He wanted always to have that something was going on. It was always dark. The message was dark. The film was dark. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's just brilliant. Anyhow,
and all those movies they did a great job.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
but the films he turned down. Now here's the films he turned down.
Okay, yeah.
Right? He turned down the Jack Nicholson role of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Really?
How about that? Yeah.
I'm not sure I would have bought Burton that role.
No. Of course, you say that now because we can't think of nobody else but Jack Nicholson.
Right.
Just like we can't think of.
I'm going to start calling that the Mr. Pink factor.
It's Mr. Pink. And you can't think of anybody but Humphrey Bogart and Casablanca.
Right.
But George Raft was a great actor. I'm sure he would have been great, but it would have been his flavor.
Yeah.
So anyhow, the Mr. Pinks. Remember it. And
don't get started. We got places.
Yeah, man. He also turned on the Jack Nicholson role for Terms of Endearment.
Really?
I did not know that.
And see, again, this is what I can't see anybody but Jack doing. That would be like you say. We don't know.
Here's an interesting point. As I think back now, I don't think it would have made sense, but it might have done. September, May romance of Richard Gere. Turned on Richard Gere role in Pretty Woman. So they have Julia Roberts playing, the love of Burt Reynolds, who was older than Richard Gere, of course.
Yeah. But still, that might add a little bit of flavor to it.
Might have. So, anyhow, so that's what's going on in the entertainment world. It's very sad passing of.
And if anybody's gonna go and check out a Burt Reynolds to commemorate the man, I'll just throw this out here real quick before we continue. And I said this to you a little while ago. Sharky's Machine. Check it out.
True Sharky's terrific machine.
Great 70s cop flick. It is what it is.
And I'm trying to remember where I saw it. I remember going to the theater when I was in training camp.
Yeah, 1981 it came out.
Okay, training camp, yeah.
I saw it at the Austintown Triple Cinema.
We were up in the Catskill Mountains. We were up in the Catskill Mountains, and we went to the movie, and it was Sharky's Machine. There you go. So I knew it was a training camp.
It's no deep Hollywood gem, but it's a fun action cop flick.
Yeah. If you like, look, it's a popcorn film, and that's what it is.
So get some damn popcorn and watch it. I said so.
Now, other stuff going on in the boxing world. That we are supposed to talk about some of that, right?
And by the way, a shout out to the admins over at the Boxing Banter Facebook page.
Boxing Banter.
They screen their posts, and they have deemed that our show is worthy of posting whenever we have a show.
I appreciate
so the Boxing Banter boys, we want to give them a big shout out.
Boxing Banter, thank you very much for posting us. They post us? Is that what they do?
They approved my post.
They approved the post. I appreciate that. Look, we're getting a bigger and better following every week. It's a nice thing, and I appreciate the people watch. I hope you enjoy. Hope you get some enlightenment out of this. I'm not sure what that is.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: we'll just go ahead and make a veiled threat. Share and like these videos, or I am coming to your house for Thanksgiving. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Share and like. Just in the boxing world, Terrence Crawford, one of the top 3 pound for pound in the game. Just re-signed, re-upped with Top Rank through 2025 to 2025. And so about this, and every time he fights, he's making a minimum of $3 million. A minimum. God bless him, man. He's a hell of a fighter and deserves it.
That's a lot of cheese, man. I'll give you $20 if you give me $20 right now. You can pop me in the head.
Al Heyman. Promoter signed a 4-year multi-platform deal with Fox Sports 1, and Fox Deportes. So Al Heyman's signed a 4-year deal with Fox, multi-platform deal, and also has a deal with Showtime.
How are the media companies involved with the promoting companies? I've never really understood how that works.
The media companies the promotional companies, you go to media, obviously you need the media to build your fights.
Right, sure.
So that's really it is. Some promoters have a deal. Get along better with certain.
Right. So some guys work with some guys.
Better. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
But bottom line, you gotta have good product. You have to good fights. You don't have good fights, you got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, so that's what we got there. And Mike, while we're here, thinking about it, our top 5 should be top 5 Burt Reynolds films.
That's not a bad idea.
I'm going to try to think of it while I'm talking, but I'm not going to stop talking.
I'll tell you what, we're going to see if we can get some response from our Facebook friends too.
Anybody who has fan of Burt Reynolds,
phone today, so
Burt Reynolds, click in. And one of his top films, Burt Reynolds, top films, and I know they say it was his favorite film.
Yeah,
was the film he did with Joe Clayburgh, Starting Over.
Yeah,
Starting Over, 1982, I believe that film was.
Yeah,
1982. It's a romantic comedy called Starting Over with Joe Clayburgh.
Yeah, because he was really the hot ticket item. In that period, there's no question. Hey, Tina wants to know if you can bring some wine home.
She just said, "Can you bring wine home?" I asked live, but Fight didn't see it. Yes, my love, I will bring wine home.
You are a good husband. He's a good husband.
I'm going to bring 2 bottles. One for us to drink, one for me to pour all over you.
TMI, Raven. TMI.
Yeah. I laughed because that's right. That line back in the heyday. That was one of my classic lines. Oh man.
Did it ever work?
All the time.
All right.
That's a go-to line. 2, one for us to drink, one for me to pour all over you.
Yeah, I can.
I'm giving away my secrets. My secrets.
You have to write a book now, man.
Oh God, I'm gonna hear all kind of grief later on.
You might hear it on Facebook here.
But anybody else commenting on the comment? Anybody? I want to thank my friends, good friends again. Friends. Last week we talked about my friend Michael Castronova.
Yes.
Found out he went home today. So any of those who are listening, we talked about our friend Michael Castronova. He went home today, and I guess he went home. Or it went up today or yesterday. I'm sorry. Either way, today or yesterday. But he's doing good. And it's good just to have him back home. Michael, like I said, he's one of them guys, just can't help but love him. Just one of the loveliest people I ever met. And one thing those guys, when he was fighting, was everything good about boxing. It's by youngster boxing. Gives you an honest day work. Fight you hard from the beginning to end, all day, every day. Trained hard. Had so much heart. Anyhow, was just a good guy, and just didn't have the big punch. Just didn't have the big punch, but other than that, he could fight, box beautiful, and went back down and put on a show. So, but he's back home, so I'm happy to hear that. Thank you, Anthony. His brother Anthony keeps me informed, and I appreciate that. So it's good. Michael's back home.
Hey, we got a response, and God bless him, man, for getting back home. Hey, we got Ed Aaron here says that you got to throw the longest yard in there.
Oh, longest yard, absolutely. I'm trying to think of Burt Reynolds films. Absolutely, longest yard. That's my number 2. Deliverance is number 1. Deliverance is number 1. That's my favorite Burt Reynolds film.
He's kind of the hero of that film.
Oh yes, The Longest Yard, number 2. Number dos. Longest Yard. The first one, they did a remake with Adam Sandler a couple years ago. Very, very funny, tongue in cheek. But Burt Reynolds, the first one, man, was funny, but it was dark comedy.
Yes,
it was dark comedy.
Yes. It had its moments. It had its very dramatic moments.
But Adam Sandler, of course, Chris Rock, and my friend Nick Turturro. It's low over top. So
and Nick was really good in that.
Yeah, he was. Okay,
he was the cheerleader, wasn't he?
Yes.
One of the cheerleaders.
Yes. No. He played.
I'm trying to think.
That was Tracy Morgan who played one of his.
That's right. Tracy Morgan. I'm mixing my metaphors. There's those glaucoma meds.
What was it? Yeah, Nick had that name.
I can see him now.
I'll think of his name in a minute. Number 3, Starting Over. We just mentioned it. That's number 3. Starting Over with Burt Reynolds.
Give it a thought a second. We got a couple of shout-outs here. We got Jim Pel Castro from Niles.
Oh, Jim, appreciate it. Yes, Jim's always texting in. So, Jim, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate you paying attention.
My good friend Brian Apgar who whipped my butt at bowling last night, and he's not going to let anybody forget about it.
So you're letting us know?
There's a grudge match going on between me and Mr. Brian Apgar over at the West Side Bowl real soon, young man. Also, Mike Gugg says New York is in the house.
Mike, where's my friend Steve Stabile?
I haven't seen Steve in here, but
Steve Stabile.
Ralph Fajak says deliver and squeal like a pig.
Yeah, my man Ralph. There it is. I know you like that. Ralph, squeal like a pig. Yes. Hey, you know what? Talking about that, for a long time, which is true. I think I mentioned it before on one of our shows. That actually hurt Ned Beatty's career. That scene, true story. When they did that, squeal like a pig, for whatever reason. People actually associated with certain scenes or certain movies.
Yeah.
And that hurt his career. Couldn't really? For a long time. Because, who's going to say, if you hire him, that's the guy who delivers, squeal like a pig.
Do you remember that game show that, the woman that was on Carol Burnett's show had, where they would draw the pictures and you had to guess what the picture was? Ned Beatty was on that. And they had the clue was a reference to a pig, and when Beatty saw the clue card before he started drawing it was a pig, and he just looked at the card and looked at, ooh, my favorite animal.
Oh, there you go.
True fact.
At least he made a joke about it.
Yeah, but that kept him on.
No, it did. It hurt his career. It hurt his career for a long time. My man Ralph.
Pictionary, Ralph says. Pictionary.
Ralph, who would notice that but you?
He said he's too chubby.
My man Ralph got a lot of time on his hands because he's always up at the Cafe Capri, lunchtime. His girlfriend Ronnie works there. I mean, Ralph, I know you're in love with your girl. She's a lovely, lovely woman. But man, give her a little free time, man. She don't need to see you all the time.
Come on, Ralphie.
All the time. She loves you to death. She sees you when you go home. She goes home, you'll be there. She don't need to see you all the time.
Hey, we got a couple more nominations in here, kid. Mark Cathline chimes in with Last Movie Star. That just came out.
Well, that was the last film. That was the last film we just did, Last Movie Star. Hasn't been released yet, or it has. If it was released less than 10 minutes. I don't know if I know it was his last film. And, if anybody sees me keep doing this, I keep moving it because my ass itches on this chair. I can't. So, not that anybody cares. I don't care if anybody cares. I get too much information. But I'm over here, man. I'm doing the woo.
Somebody call the people at anti-monkey butt powder. Maybe we can get.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to stand because man, that's just way too much.
Bob Hodge, our good friend, says Striptease with Demi Moore.
Striptease was a good movie. No. Striptease was a terrible movie. I thought he was good in it.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst part about it was the stripping. When you got a movie Striptease, that better be the right on. That better be number one. But it was no.
You want to learn how to do a Striptease movie? You got to hang out at the backstage lounge.
No, I'm backstage. but look, Burt Reynolds had a great career.
Yep.
And from the mid '80s, late '80s to early '90s, he wasn't getting offered a lot of great stuff.
No.
And a lot of people thought his time was over, but he was still like I said, he was a #1 star from the '70s to early '80s. And there was a time period.
Box office gold.
There was a 6-7 year period when he was #1, and nobody had that stretch. Nobody's had a stretch that Burt Reynolds had in the '70s.
Especially
to this day.
The 70s through the mid 80s, especially when you consider just with there's 3 Bandit movies.
Well, yeah.
And 2 Cannonball Runs.
Yeah. he did a lot of popcorn film. He did a lot of, we did it strictly for the money, but why not?
And he was really good at it.
And he was a movie star. And he did a movie star, and he did it, he did
and he's
movies.
A funny guy.
Yeah, he was.
He was one of those guys who could do comedy and drama.
Exactly. Because he always did it with tongue-in-cheek.
Yep.
He was always, even when he did with drama, he never knew if he had a smart-ass remark right after it. Mm-hmm. So he was just one of them. He was a star.
The best thing in the world, just to maybe to just put one little more piece of glitter on this, was those Cannonball Run movies at the end where they'd always run the blooper.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
Him and Dom DeLuise.
Dom DeLuise, Smokey and the Band, they do the same thing.
Yep.
When he did with Jackie Gleason and Well, you know, he brought Jack Gleason back into the public mind because he was gone for a long time. And Jack Gleason, one of the greatest stars. One of the greatest stars we ever had.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, Jack Gleason, people don't realize what a great star of stage, film, and TV he was. One of the greatest treasures we've had was Jackie Gleason.
Now, I got to ask you, though, speaking of blooper reels, now we talked a couple of weeks ago about I know where there was recordings of you trying to sing. Our friend Gary Ramey down at Peppermint has them. I'm not going to blackmail you because you're my friend, but is there a Ray Mancini blooper reel?
No. I mean, because I don't mess up that much. No.
All right.
I'm called One Take Ray. One Take Ray. But you know, it's just funny. I mean, a lot of times when I go to movie, people go on to see. They wait to the end of the movie to see the blooper reel. That's if you go to the movie to see a blooper reel. That's that didn't say much about the movie. But you know, a lot of people go. They do go to see it. A lot of movies I'm watching. Oh, I can't wait to see that blooper reel out there because
those were classic, though.
Yeah. Talking about again, we talked about Terrence Howley signed a deal with Top Rank and ESPN. Al Heyman just re-signed a 4-year multi-platform deal with Fox Sports 1, and Fox Deportes. Now, they talked about, some fighters asked them about Triple G and Canelo. And I would ask somebody and they tap dance. Oh, I like both guys. Oh, I don't know who I'm going to pick. And ask some top fighters, man. And nobody's picked it. The only one who really picked anybody was Mosley. Shane Mosley said, I hate to pick it both, but I mean, but I guess I got to pick Triple G. Layla Ali, same thing. She picked Triple G. But Terrence Crawford and Holyfield kind of tap dance. You know, I like them both, and both tough guys. And who's going to bring their A game? Just standard quick answers, and I get it. But I like people that take a stand. Good or right or wrong, just take a stand.
Don't straddle the fence, Dan.
No, don't do that. And how about this? I saw Oscar De La Hoya on. He's promoter of Canelo's promoter, and he was on.
We talked about that a while ago.
He was up Get Up just the other day. Get Up, which is the ESPN show with Mike Greenberg, Jalen Rose, and the young lady. I don't know. I forgot her name. And he's talking about it. And again, he talks, but he says nothing. He talks, he says nothing. It's they're both good fighters. Oh, they fight. I don't know when it's going to be extension. It's going to be round 13 and everything. Okay, yeah, great. Okay, we got it. But one thing he said, though, and it just said as a fighter, and people understand, he said, I've never seen Canelo train so angry.
Train angry?
He says, I've never seen angry. Yeah, train so angry. I guess he's trying to say he's mad. He's very mad. But see, that's the thing. It makes no sense. As an athlete, as a fighter, most people know, fighters got to be controlled aggression. I've talked about this many times.
Oh, yeah.
Controlled aggression. That's why Ali was the best at. Ali was the one who brought smack talking and what they call psychological warfare.
Yeah.
There was no such term to Ali.
Right.
He brought it to the game, the smack talk about your mother, and he called people names. Ernie Shivs, the Acorn, and Joe Frazier was Big Ugly Bear. Sid Liston was the Big Ugly Bear, and Joe Frazier had names for all these actors. All these actors, all these fighters. I said actors. All these fighters, he had names for. So
get him amped up.
So he'd say that, and then he'd say things, and they're ugly, too ugly to be champion. Things like that. Whatever he said, but it was always, like I said, tongue in cheek with Ali.
Yeah.
He was so far ahead of anybody. Psychological warfare, there was no such term to Ali. But they tell you got to be controlled because you get guys out of their game plan. You want them to get mad. When you come in mad, you lose control of what you're supposed to do. You got to be controlled aggression. You don't. If once you get out of you let your mind get involved, it takes you right out of the fight. You open yourself up. And you're very vulnerable.
You stop thinking. You got to keep thinking.
So when he said, I never seen him train so angry, that would be the worst thing you could do. What I think he's trying to say is he's angry at what he said. He's training hard. I've never seen him train so hard.
Yeah.
And to want to beat a guy so badly. Get that.
There's a difference between training angry.
makes no sense. First of all, that doesn't make sense. He's training angry.
Training hard because you're angry is different.
Training hard. He can't wait to get him in there because he's angry. He wants to take his head off. That. So anyhow, that's just what I heard him say. I've never seen him called train so angry. I kind of said that for every fighter that knows, that's exactly what you don't want to do. You got to be trained, controlled aggression, controlled of all your emotions. So anyhow, I thought it was kind of funny though. Again, that fight's coming up in a couple weeks, as well be week Saturday.
Yeah,
because then I will be over in the UK. Now again, for anybody, I'm leaving next week. But for those, again, this weekend I'll be in Watertown, New York. I hope to see a lot of people up for my friend Johnny Pep, who's bringing me up for that event, Watertown, New York. I leave tomorrow morning, early flight, a little early, 6 o'clock flight. That's early in AM. And but I will be in Watertown, and look forward to meeting everybody I can, all the people there. I know it's a lovely little city and lovely people, so I'm looking forward to that. What else?
Now you're going to UK. Where are you going in UK?
I'm going back to England, London. I'll be Birmingham. Our friend seeing Scott. I'll be there for 2 events, Saturday and Sunday. A doubleheader for Scott.
Oh, cool.
Doubleheader for Scott in Birmingham, and then we're supposed to fly. I said we're supposed to go to Ireland, but I realized it's just a day trip. He's taking me. I thought we'd get business there or something, but he's taking me for a day trip. So we're gonna fly up on Monday morning because it's like an hour flight, like here to New York. Fly to Ireland, Dublin in the morning, and come back at night. Just spend the day. So Scott, I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to that, and then I will return Tuesday back to the States.
But you are going to make the Ireland day trip, though, because I remember if I recall last Tuesday, we were kind of dicey.
Yeah, we weren't sure if I was going to go, but I'm looking for it. So he's taking me. He's been a good sport to bring me over there and at least experience the Irish lifestyle.
Yeah. You know what? I want to go knock on his door, but I don't want you to warn him first because I'm going to England in 2020. When I go, I'm going to swing up Birmingham and just knock on his door.
Yes. So, I had a rant, and I can't remember that. I usually write it down so I remember it. I got to figure, what is my rant today? Man, now I got
to quit taking notes on cocktail napkins.
Yes. Well, my friend Ralph said that. When Ralph texted in, he threw me off.
Ralph spilled his coffee. I think he might have been laughing.
He threw me off with that. I'm going to see who else. I'm going to see people text and watching the Boom Room. Anthony Casanova. Okay.
Hey, Steve is in, by the way.
I'm sorry?
Steve is in.
Steve, you're in the house?
Yes, okay. He is.
Oh, Jeff, my friend Jeff Blackstone, who we just had on last week from the Susie's Dogs. He's watching. Great.
They got some good grub down there.
Jeff. There's a big thing coming out now. We're just talking about the Nike commercial with Colin Kaepernick as being one. I don't know, man. I don't know if I go either way. I don't want to. I like to take a stand. I get it. Nike's trying to be anti-social. Not anti-social. That's the word. Establishment. Thank you. Anti-social. No, that's not good to be anti-social. Anti-establishment. They try to take that line, take the hard line in the sand. I married Colin Kaepernick. I met him a few times. Lovely guy. Hell of a player. I think he's a hell of a player. Should he be playing for somebody? Yeah, probably should have. But again, if I'm the owner, I have my reasons not to hire. I have my reasons.
Yeah.
My prerogative as an owner. I don't want to be, that's what I'm saying. Because he says he got a suit because they put this collusion against him. Everyone don't hire him. If they don't want to hire you, they don't want to hire you. Obviously, it's not because it's talent. He's as talented as most people, if not more so. But anyhow. So
it's getting pushed too far, man.
He has to deal with Nike, so, great. But I don't know. I mean, I ain't gonna make me go buy Nike anymore. I don't buy them in the first place. I'm not gonna buy them anymore. They can make me want to go buy Nike, but
it kind of gets you thinking, man. Because if you went around and tried to boycott everything that you might not agree with politically or philosophically, you'd go naked and hungry.
And
it's kind of goofy.
I don't know. It's just again. So Michael asked me about Sherman Smith. Yes. Anthony Casanova. Yeah, Sherman Smith. I never met him, but I know the story Great story on ESPN on E60 about him and his. It was a kid that he coached. It was first of all, it was a kid that was adopted.
Yeah.
Adopted by a woman and AC McCullough and his wife.
Long time media icon.
Right,
AC
yeah,
McCullough.
big youngster, big DJ. He's been here since I was in high school. I mean, that's been around forever. And him and his ex-wife adopted Dylan McCullough. Then they found out Dylan got older. He was found out he's adopted. Wanted to find out about his adopted mother, find out about his real mother. I should say his birth mother. His adopted mother gave the okay, and checked and found this woman. And since then, he asked her, got to talk, met her, asked her about who my father is. And now here's the rub on that. He played at Kent Memorial, went to the Miami of Ohio. Sherman Smith's whole time. Sherman Smith was the icon, big football star, who later went to play for the Seattle Seahawks. And he won, Dylan McCullough won all kind of awards at Miami of Ohio. So Sherman Smith became a mentor to him. Come back, became a mentor. He became friends, became a mentor. He
totally unrelated to the other stuff.
Totally, didn't even know, right? Just a friend. He admired this guy. And the mother would say, his adopted mother would say, what do you think of him? And he said, this kid's on the right track. He's a special type. He's a special kid. He's going to do great in life. All these great accolades. They finally find his birth mother, gets to talking to her, and he says, can you tell me who my father is? And she says, Sherman Smith. And the kid almost passed out. He said, because this was his mentor, guy he looked up to since he was in college. Because when he played her, Sherman Smith came back to his alma mater, spoke to the team. He went out, was an assistant coach for him out in Seattle. Again, it was a guy he admired, a guy he idolized, and he said he loved him like a father. And to find out he actually was your father, I mean, that's trippy as hell.
I'll tell you
such a great story. And when Sherman found out, and then the mother, he said, yeah, I know the mother. And it was just, I guess it was like, they were just a fling, just a fling.
Yeah.
She got pregnant, and he asked, why didn't you tell me? She said, because I didn't want to mess up. He went to college. I don't want to mess up your life. And
wow,
that was nice. That was pretty brave.
Anybody wants to Google Sherman Smith? I just Googled Sherman Smith, and the first three things that popped out was this story. Yeah.
So if you want to watch it, it's a very heartwarming story about Youngstown. They had I guess they had a reunion here in Youngstown in July that ESPN filmed. So it's just it truly is a heartwarming story and a beautiful story.
And it's a multi-layered Youngstown success story. And we talked about this the other day. What order he went in the draft?
Yeah,
he was second round, pick number 58. And it was the very first season of the Seattle Seahawks.
That's right.
And also
expansion team was expansion team. He was the first superstar. It was actually him and the quarterback was it Dave Craig?
No, it was Jim Zorn.
Jim Zorn was their first quarterback, and Sherman Smith was their first star in Seattle. And so
they had they had the receiver too, the one up being a congressman. Oh, I can't. Steve Largent.
Oh, Steve Largent, that's right. That's exactly right.
Those were the three big
Steve
guys.
Largent, for years, had the most yards and receptions until Jerry beat him.
Yep.
But he had the most yards in history, the most pass catches in history until, Jerry Rice just broke every record.
Chris Carter's better than Jerry Rice. Want to have an argument? Save it up.
Yeah. So, anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, we've been here talking and just talking about this and that, and a lot of nonsense. But
I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We got a really big viewership today, and we want to remind everybody to like and share the video.
Like and share. Yeah.
Or I'm going to show up at your house for Thanksgiving.
Yes. And if anybody wants to know, you could tell friends and family watch. Go to the THE, of course, theboomboomroom.live on Facebook or YouTube and watch the show, repeat the show. So I like to do that just to see how I sound and the stupid mistakes I made.
And Facebook, the Boom Boom Room as well.
Facebook. That's what I said. I just said Facebook. Facebook Live.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention, Ray. Are you wearing socks today?
No socks today. All
right, okay. You freaked me out on Tuesday. You had socks on. I've never seen you with socks.
Socks, man. They were good-looking socks. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for spending another day with us here in the Boom Boom Room, spending another round with us. we'll be back on Tuesday for next week. And until then, please tell your friends to come and join us. But we'll have to hopefully be bigger and better. And boy, man, just I don't know how much better we can get, though, right? So until then, take care of each other, love each other. Good night, God bless.